Well, what's going on, guys? So, today we have found this video, Master the Art of Conversation with Women, okay? So, it's time to see what this fella is talking about. Let's see if he is accurate or if he needs to be corrected. Let's go ahead and get right into it.
About to discover the ultra.
Wait. Let's go to the beginning.
You are about to discover the ultra rare secret that most men will never know about attracting women. I assure
Most men don't know this, fellas. Get ready.
you that by the time you finish watching this video, you'll know exactly how to talk to women, how to get inside their minds, and how to make them eagerly await the next time they see you or hear from you. This is you, and this is the girl you'll be talking to. What should you say to her? What should you talk about? And how can you make your conversation flow smoothly? This is the first mistake you can make when you start talking to a girl. When you're speaking with her, don't overthink the topic of conversation or how you're going to speak. Before we get into the details, I want you to first change your perspective on this. I want you to change your internal mindset. When you're talking to a girl, you need to remember that she's just a human being, nothing more. Don't place her on a pedestal just because she's attractive. I know this might sound superficial and like something you've heard before, but it's crucial that you internalize it. From now on, every time you talk to a beautiful girl, I want you to remember me and tell yourself, she's just a human being.
Okay, I will remember this guy next time I'm talking to a woman. She is just a human being. She is just a human being. She's just a human being, okay? Because usually I be thinking that they're fucking aliens or some shit. Usually I be like, this bitch is a fucking... She's a fucking alien. She's from Aliens versus Predator. I damn near forgot. Like, I'm so glad I ran across this video because I genuinely thought these women were aliens, okay? Nah, but real shit, fellas, they're just fucking human beings, okay? So stop being such a pussy and just talk to them, okay? But let's see what's going on in this video, right? Because we're about to learn the secrets of learning how to talk to women.
The second thing I want you to internalize is that you need to see yourself as being in a higher position while she's in a lower one. Don't worry, I'll explain how you can do this later, but for now, just listen. Now, when you're talking to a girl, her subconscious mind, the instinct that controls love and seeks the right man, is evaluating you to see if you're the right guy for her or not. If you've watched all the videos in this series on how to attract women, you'll know that women are emotional beings who are drawn to what they feel. But in today's episode, we're going to dive deeper into this topic. Let me explain to you what attraction is for a woman. The single most important and fundamental concept you must understand to succeed with women is attraction. Without understanding how attraction works, you will never succeed with women and dating. There are no exceptions to this rule. Unlike men, women often act based on how they feel, making decisions driven by emotions rather than logic. They see something, feel something, and respond to that feeling. Because their actions are emotion-based, they essentially can't control who they are attracted to and who they aren't. Attraction is a subconscious response that women have towards certain behaviors exhibited by men. Therefore, to trigger attraction, you need to incorporate these behaviors into your personality. But before we dive into the specifics, let me clarify a few facts. 1. Women do not control who they are attracted to. 2. Women do not control who they are not attracted to. This means that
I am attracted to crazy women. Just not too crazy, okay? I like a little bit of crazy, right? I'm into a little bit of crazy. A little bit of crazy is okay. Too crazy, you gotta go, okay? But, you know, what did he say? You can't control what you're attracted to, right? Personally, you know, I like a little bit of crazy, but I like it when I make them crazy. Not when they come pre-packaged crazy. Like, if you come pre-packaged crazy, bitch, you got issues. But if I made you crazy, okay, no worries.
That attraction happens on an unconscious level and women cannot control it. Now, I want you to imagine this subconscious part of a woman's mind as a radar. When you start talking to her, it lights up and begins scanning you to see if you're suitable for her or not. This radar is separate from her conscious mind, meaning if this radar wants you, her conscious mind won't be able to say no.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Because guys think that this is what they have to go after, right? This supposed radar, and what the fuck is going on with her ass? What is that? What is going on with her ass? They done fucked up the BBL? Look, guys go after this. You see the mouse? Guys go after what's between her legs. You have to go to what's between her mind, between her ears, okay? Right here. This is what you have to target because this comes with this. But when you uncontrollably lust over a woman, and all you want to do is fuck, and you're just a fucking hornball, guess what? You're going after the pussy, and you're not going after the mind. You have to get her mind up here. Get her involved in you. Get her involved in this fantasy world that you create through your words. Of course, it's visual as well. You have to be someone who has worked on themselves. You can't just be a sloppy mess. But don't just think that you got to go after what's between her legs, because women will sniff that away from 1,000 miles away. This guy's just horny. This guy's just horny. He just wants to use me. Okay? So go for her mind. Don't go for her pussy.
Oh, that's why so many women end up falling for the same bad guy who mistreats them and cheats on them. Her logical brain constantly tells her, you've made the same mistake, you'll be mistreated again, you'll be cheated on again. But because she's biologically programmed to think emotionally and her radar is disconnected from her logical mind, her logic can't control her. Before we move on, I want you to take this fact with you. Any girl in the world, from the moment she is born, has a primary goal in life, which is to find the right man for her. And know that this is not the typical talk you hear from society, but it is the biological truth. A woman could be a scientist or an astronaut at NASA, but even so, her ultimate goal remains finding the right man for her. And this right man is not someone she chooses, but rather the radar inside her is what seeks him out and selects him. So from now on, whenever you talk to a girl, know that this radar inside her is scanning you to see if you're suitable for her or not. This radar looks for many things in you. Among the most important is whether you appear to be better than her or if she is better than you. The way it determines this is by observing how you interact with her, whether you treat her in a way that shows you see yourself as better than her, or if you see her as better than you. If you treat her in a way that shows you see yourself as better than her, the radar will understand that you are better than her, and that's when the woman will become yours. I know this may sound confusing, and I know it seems difficult and complicated, but trust me, by the end of this video, you'll understand everything, and you'll know how to make any girl, no matter who she is, think about you all day long after your conversation, without even knowing why she did it. So what should you do and what should you say to make the radar understand that you see yourself as better than her? Let's start with something simple that many people overlook: body language. If you've ever tried researching body language, you'll find that some say you should keep your head up, others say don't put your hands in your pockets, and others say sit with a straight back. The first thing I want you to do now is to forget all of that. It's all nonsense and won't help you at all. There are 3 points I want you to focus on regarding body language. A common mistake many men make is leaning towards the girl while talking. This often turns her off because you're subconsciously signaling that you're too interested in her. Instead, make it a habit to talk to her while leaning away. This is the first point. The second point is to almost start walking away when she says something you disapprove of. For example, if a girl says, "I'm not really interested," you could respond with, "I know, I'm probably too much for you to handle. You're too much of a nice girl anyway," and then start to walk away as
You really think that's gonna work? I'm not really interested in you. Okay, I'm not interested in you either, bitch. Oh my goodness, my pussy is tingling. He walked away from me. Like, if a woman's not interested in you, she's not interested in you, okay? Unless it's the type of situation where you get to see her every day and you grow on her through, you guys are in the same environment. But a woman is not interested in you and you think that walking away from her is going to make her interested in you? No, she's going to go on about her day and she's not even going to think about you, okay? And so should you. If a woman's not interested in you, no worries, right? Don't chase after a woman who doesn't feel the same way about you. Go after women who choose you. Go talk to the woman and determine. You have to have this radar, the same radar that he's talking about. You have to have it in your mind and you have to determine, is this woman interested in me? Is she giving off signs that she's interested in me? But what guys do is they blame it all on her. Oh, she's not interested. Oh, I'm just getting rejected all the time. No, you also have to look within yourself. How is your approach? Are you going up to her and are you all weak? Are you all unconfident? Are you nervous, right? Because she might find you attractive physically, but the way that you come up to her, that might be something that you need to work on. It's not something that's just given to you. It doesn't just come from the sky. You wake up all of a sudden, you know how to talk to a woman, right? But most guys overcomplicate this shit and they end up giving up. They end up not knowing the secrets, right? Here we have the secrets. But most guys just end up quitting. What you need to understand is that there is women who just aren't attracted to you. And there's multiple factors why. It has nothing to do with you. It could be she has a boyfriend. Even though women cheat, she might have a boyfriend, right? You might not be her type physically. You might be, like for example, let's just use me for example, right? She might not be into the most sexy Puerto Rican man in the world. That just might not be her type. She might just like ugly dudes, right? So if a woman rejects me, it's clearly she just likes ugly dudes. And that's understandable, right? I just continue pushing forward. I don't sit there and get mad about it. I say, okay, I understand. This woman likes ugly dudes. I get it. Okay? So you have to have that in your mind and understand that you have to have that confidence that, hey, listen, I'm just not this woman's type, right? You have a type, don't you? I'm sure you don't go for any woman in the world. I'm sure you have a specific type in your mind. And if some ugly, busted ass chick that you are not interested in comes up to you and tries to talk to you, you probably wouldn't be interested in her, right? And it has nothing to do with her. It just has to do with your type. So before you go out there and try to talk to women, you have to have this understanding, because otherwise you're going to quit, because you're going to think, oh, it's the end of the world. No. There's some women who find you attractive. There's some women who don't. And can you work on that? Yes. Because if you're the lowest possible version of yourself, you're fat, you haven't worked on your looks at all, then there might be a few women who find you attractive, right? A few. But the more you work on it, the more women you appeal to. The more women see you and they're like, okay, I find that guy attractive. A woman who once you weren't her type, you're becoming her type, not because of the fact that you change races or anything, just because of the fact that you've worked on yourself and you've actually become a more objectively attractive man.
As you say it, you'll likely see her either walking towards you or trying to stop you with a quick comment. Attractive girls aren't used to guys walking away like this. They're usually accustomed to being chased. Therefore, walking away will demonstrate high value, which will automatically make her more attracted to you. The third point, and the most important point in body language that I want you to be aware of throughout your life, is this. I'll give you an example to help you understand. Imagine yourself sitting next to an important person, someone with a high status. How would you sit? You probably wouldn't sit relaxed. You'd try to show respect and wouldn't be comfortable. You'd be smiling and laughing by yourself to please them. But now, imagine yourself sitting next to a friend you've known for 10 years or sitting next to your brother. How would your body language be? You probably wouldn't care at all about how you're sitting. You might be sitting with your legs stretched out. You might be leaning back and talking to them. You wouldn't even care if they're sitting next to you or not. So, when two people sit and talk, the one with the higher value among them is the one who sits comfortably and doesn't care about the other person sitting next to them. This is the mindset I want you to adopt. When you're talking to a girl, the first thing I want you to do is to sit comfortably in a position that makes you feel at ease and not care about how she perceives you. This idea of thinking about how you should sit should disappear from your mind. If you want to put your hand in your pocket, do it. If you want to take it out, take it out. If you want to lift your leg up, lift it. If you want to lean back, lean back. The important thing is to be comfortable and do what makes you feel at ease. The girl won't care about what you do with your hands or your legs while you're talking. She'll only care whether you're sitting comfortably or not. And I want you to apply this mindset in your whole life. Not just with girls. Please, stop giving so much importance to your body language and what you should do to impress others. Do what makes you feel comfortable. No one owes you anything. The moment you start thinking about what body language you should adopt, know that you're on the wrong path. Please, learn to be comfortable, make peace with yourself, and don't care about what she thinks. Sit as you like and do what you want. When you do all this, the woman will feel that you see yourself as better than her. Now we're done with body language. Let's move on to conversation, how to communicate with her. I'm going to give you a formula that I want you to always remember when you're talking to any woman. 50% of the conversation should be about her and her personality. 30% of the conversation should be about the environment around you or anything else. And 20% of the conversation should be about you. Don't worry, I'll explain everything in detail. But before we continue, don't forget to like the video. We want to reach 3,500 likes. So, why 50% about her and only 20% about you? Because in any conversation between two people, the person who needs the other's approval is the one who talks a lot about themselves. Imagine you're doing a job interview. The conversation will be about you, your personality, and your abilities.
I'll say this, fellas. You can always talk yourself out of the pussy, but you can never talk yourself into it. And what I mean by that is some guys believe that they have to speak, continue speaking, continue just trying to fill the air. Sometimes it's better to just be silent. There's moments where it's better to be silent. I'm not saying to be silent throughout the entire date, throughout the entire interaction. You're just sitting there like this, like a mute. Like, no. But what you need to understand is that the more that you talk, the more you run the risk of saying something that could end up fucking up your situation, right? Fucking up. And I'm not saying that it's the end of the world, right? Because you can't lose something you never had. But what you need to understand is sometimes the less that you say, the better you have a chance of, getting what you want, getting what it is that you are there for. Let's be honest. We know what you're there for, brother. We know exactly what you're there for. Let's not sugarcoat, okay? So you can never talk yourself into it. There's never going to be these perfect words that you say that are going to get you laid. But you can always talk yourself out of it. You can always talk yourself out of it. So the more that you speak, the more you run the risk of saying some stupid ass shit and making the interaction sour. So keep things brief. Keep it short. Don't be afraid to speak how you speak. However, my biggest key point for you guys is to never make it argumentative. Okay? If she says something and you disagree with it, don't outright disagree with it and say, no, that's wrong. Because listen, this is psychology and sales 101. Whether it's you're trying to make a sale, you never want to make the interaction disagreeable, because people like people that agree with them. People like people who are agreeable, but not in a pushover way. But what you need to understand is that if you're trying to make a sale and you start disagreeing with the customer, you're not going to get that sale, because it's going to put them in that guarded mode to where they're like, I don't like this person. But it doesn't mean that, like I said, you don't have to be a pushover. You don't have to agree with everything that they say. But let's just say that she says something, right? And you don't agree with it. Don't be like, no, I think that's wrong because this and this and that. Because now she doesn't like you. It's you might have a logical explanation for why you believe that, but women are not logical. Women are emotional creatures, okay? Women are emotional. And if you are going on a date with a woman, you don't want to make it logical. If you make it logical, that is anti-seductive. In order to make it seductive, you have to go along with her emotions and make her feel certain things. The more comfortable you can make her feel, you'll definitely be getting laid that night or probably the next night. And how do you do that? By, like I said, if she says something you don't agree with it, I see. Oh yeah, okay, I see how you think that. I understand, right? As opposed to being like, no, well, that's not true because of this and this and that. Now you've built up this barrier, this wall, as opposed to just being like, oh, that's interesting. I see how you can think that. See, at that point, you didn't state your opinion. You didn't say, because quite frankly, she didn't ask you for your opinion. If she's saying something and you're disagreeing, you're answering a question that wasn't asked, as opposed to, oh, I see how you can think that. So understand that.
What about the person interviewing you? Because you're the one who needs the job and they're the one in control. The same thing applies to your conversations with women. The person who talks a lot about themselves is the one who needs the other person's approval. That's why you should talk about her more than you talk about yourself. So let's start with the first thing, which is talking about her. How do you do that? I've already explained the listen like a therapist technique in a previous video. You can watch it after you finish this one. You'll understand more, and I don't need to repeat myself here. But to summarize, the conversation should be about her, what she likes and dislikes, how she spent her childhood, how she plans to live her life, what her dreams are, what she likes to do in her free time, what she sees as positive in herself, and what she sees as negative. I'm sure you get the idea. 30% of the conversation should be about the environment around you or anything else.
And when you talk about yourself, it should be something that is asked, right? You don't want to be the guy that just overshares, because then you kill any sort of mystery, right? And like I said, you don't have to be Batman, you don't have to be a mute, but you do want to have a level of mystery and intrigue to where she's wondering, who is this guy? She has that in her mind, because how do relationships fizzle out? Relationships fizzle out? Why? Because you get to know the person, and now she feels like she knows you completely, And most people, let it all out. They don't have any sort of mystery to where she's intrigued and she wants to know more about you. She feels like she knows you completely. And that's the mode that you do not want to have a woman in. And most guys do this. They go on the first date. They go on and on and on and on and on about themselves. It's okay to chime in on certain moments if you can relate to something that she's saying to keep the conversation flowing. However, you want to be selective with your words. You don't just want to let it all out, because then there's nothing to know. You want her to wonder. You want her to ask you questions. Well, tell me, you haven't told me about this yet. What about this, right? That's when women start doing the 21 questions. When she pulls that one out, it's because she wants to know more about you. She's intrigued. She's interested in learning more about who you are.
Phase, I want you to stay aware of one thing. Don't think about what you should say. Anything that comes to mind, say it. Consider yourself sitting next to a friend you've known for 10 years. Talk about anything and everything. It's okay to say something silly.
Damn, this bitch is boring. Damn, bitch, you're boring as fuck.
The important thing is not to appear as if you're trying to say something that's not silly. Just keep talking and don't stick to one topic. Don't try to stay serious and discuss important topics. Imagine yourself drunk and talking. Talk about anything, even if it makes no sense. The important thing is not to appear as if you're trying to convey a certain idea or talk seriously. Just keep talking. And by the way, if you've made it this far in the video, I want to let you know that you'll find in the description a free ebook containing some nearly forbidden psychological techniques that will make attractive women irresistibly drawn to you, no matter your age, appearance, or bank account. They'll be hooked on you like an addiction. You'll find the link in the description. Anyway, during this 30% of the conversation, just keep messing around and say whatever comes to mind. If you get into an argument on a topic, don't get angry and debate to prove your point. Remember what I told you earlier, you don't need anything from her. You don't need her approval. You don't have to agree with her all the time, but don't torture yourself trying to convey a certain idea or convince her of something. Now, let's talk about the 20% when you talk about yourself. Never ever try to show her that you're amazing. Don't talk about your achievements or adventures. Let me give you a golden piece of advice. When you talk about yourself, always make fun of yourself a little. When you tell a story about yourself, try to tell a story that makes you look silly or crazy, not a story that makes you look great. This way, she'll see that you don't need her approval and you don't need her admiration. Another thing
I wouldn't say joke around about yourself, make yourself the butt of the joke, but definitely don't do that shit. I've seen guys do this. Where they'll be like, I've worked with some incels back when I worked at a restaurant, and this motherfucker, you could just tell, he radiated that incel energy, because he would always be like, yeah, I benched 225, I benched it, and the other day I deadlifted this, and the other day I squatted it, and it's like, you're trying to prove yourself. That comes off as low value. This person is such low value, and they believe that we don't see this person as valuable, that they have to try and convince us that this thing is valuable. For example, does Lamborghini try to convince you as to why you should buy their cars? No, you don't even really see Lamborghini advertisements, right? You just know that that's a valuable product. It's not something that has to be, hey guys, come buy this product. It's really good. It's amazing. It speaks for itself. People already understand the value that it has. So when you come off as trying to prove yourself by talking about your achievements and I've done this and I've done that, then you just come off as, oh, this person probably doesn't even have that much value, because words are cheap. You want women to find things out about you through your actions. Don't be the type of guy that'll be like, oh, and I'm this and I'm that. You know what? It's even more smooth if she just finds out on her own. Let's just say you have a nice car. Not posting about it all the time, not taking pictures, not talking about it. No. You pull up, she sees it. Oh, shit. You got a nice place? You're not like, oh, I have a really nice place. No. She pulls up to your place. Oh, damn, this is a nice place. It comes off more smooth, and it actually adds more mystery to you because she wants to find out more about you. You're not just letting it all out on the table.
I want you to do is to be mysterious. Your personality should have an element of mystery. This mystery is something I'll make a separate video about to explain it to you in detail. But for now, I'll give you a brief overview. Being mysterious doesn't mean you have to fake everything about your personality. It simply means you shouldn't reveal too much about yourself too soon. Many guys tend to give detailed answers to every question a girl asks. For example, if a girl asks, "Where do you work?" most guys might respond with, "I work at ABC firm in this position from 9 to 5. The mistake here is that by giving out too much information too quickly, they unintentionally signal low value, which works against them. Now, let's handle this the right way. If a girl asks, "Where do you work?" you could say something like, "Hold on there."
They really botched her BBL. No, the other day, I was asked this. Oh, what did you said you had to do something before you picked me up. What was it that you had to do? You know, I had to make a YouTube video, but guess what? I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say, oh yeah, I got a YouTube, right? Because then I got to explain what I do on YouTube and what I talk about and how, you know, I'm the nicest man on YouTube and I'm very, very polite and all this stuff. I don't want to get into that, right? It's too much. It's too much the very first time. We'll get into that later on if, you know, the time arises. So what did I do? The good old handy dandy reliable. When you're under pressure, when the stakes are high and someone asks you a question, ask the question right back. Well, wait. She said, what is it that you were doing? What is it that I was doing? Right? It gives you time to think. It gives you time to come up with an answer. And I said, oh, I was reading. Yeah. I got it, you know. I have to read. I got like a habit of reading every day, so I had to read, right? So understand this. If I would have sat there and been like, oh, you know, I was doing YouTube and now I got to talk about YouTube and now I might have to show her one of my videos. And it's like sometimes it's better to just keep things to where there isn't too much being said. There is not much being said. It's easier to go on and flow when certain things aren't really talked about and maybe they're found out about later on. I'm not saying to keep shit like a big secret or anything, but you definitely do not want to just let it all out. Oh, what do you do for work? Oh, I do this and this and that and this. No, keep it brief. Keep it short. Keep it simple.
Speedy kitten, we've just met and you're already interviewing me. See the difference? As long as you don't reveal too much about yourself too early, there will always be more that she'll want to know. Here are more examples. Her, what are you doing Saturday night? You, something exciting but secret. Sorry, can't tell you. Her, have you ever been in a relationship? You, I don't know you that well yet. I don't discuss private stuff with strangers. Her, so what's your name? You, take a guess. I'll give you a candy if you get it right. Now that you know all this, you'll still have a small problem that might come up, which is the tests she'll put you through. When the woman is talking to you, that radar inside her will push her to do certain things to test you, to see if you're the real deal or not. It will try to figure out if you're truly the right guy. These tests, when they happen, often cause men to panic and lose focus. And even though I've just given you this formula and explained what to do, a single test can make you lose your composure and forget everything. Or a single test can make her doubt that you're not genuine, that you're just pretending to impress her. So how do we deal with the problem of tests? Don't worry, every problem has a solution, and we'll talk about the problem of tests in the upcoming episodes of our series.
Well, fellas, as you can see, now we know the secrets. Now we can talk to any woman, anytime, any place, okay? Make sure you lean back always. Make sure you're always like this. Always lean back. That shows alpha energy. It shows dominance. It just oozes through your skin. No, but listen, guys. If you want to be able to be confident on a date, always make sure, first and foremost, that you take care of yourself. You take care of your appearance. And yes, don't say too much on the date that comes off as being try hard. Don't be that guy. Because like I said, you can always talk yourself out of the pussy. Okay? The more you say, the more you run the risk of saying some stupid shit that just fucks up the whole interaction. Because understand that a date and you hanging out with your homies is two different things. It's a different mode. So you have to get in that mode when you go on a date, and you have to have a mindset of being more selective with your words and being more direct and purposeful with what you say. When you're with the boys, when you're with the homies, you just say whatever comes to mind. You're just joking, right? because there's no purpose behind it. There's no objective as to why you're saying what you're saying. When you're speaking to women, you don't want to come off as try hard. You don't want to say things just to say things. You want to be intentional with your words, so that way it leaves an impact. When you are intentional with your words, they leave an impact. When you're not intentional, people forget about it. People forget about what you say. That's why most guys will go on a date and they'll be like, what did you guys talk about? Oh, I don't know. All right. If you guys need help, shoot me a DM on Instagram at Optimal Man Coaching. That's the video for today, guys. I'm out. Peace out.